What's up, fight fans? Matt the Beast Tucker here for Fight Hub TV, powered by Stagefront VIP. I'm here with the main man, Eddie Hearn. How we doing, buddy?
Doing good, mate. Thank you. Thank you for sticking around.
Yeah, of course.
Big day of media today, but excited for the fight on Saturday.
Last time we spoke, it was right before Taylor versus Serrano. I don't know if you remember, but I asked you what it would take to get women's boxing to the popularity of UFC, and it ended up being the fight of the year. Talk to us a little bit about doubling down on that success with this female heavy card.
I think, after the success of Taylor Serrano, you have to build on that. We saw that event sell out the Garden, like you say, fight of the year, event of the year. And now we're back at the Garden with Amanda Serrano going for undisputed, Alicia Baumgardner going for undisputed as well. And I don't know, really. When I make fights now, I don't necessarily think, oh, it's a female headline. It's just a great fight. And it's there. I look at the fight. I look at the demand from the broadcaster. I look at the potential for ticket sales. We'll be sold out on Saturday night. A huge audience will be tuning in, and it will be a great fight. And I think we're just moving away from men's and women's, and I think there's 5 female fights on the card on Saturday. And it wasn't even my intention to load it with female fights. It was just they were there, they were great fights, and here we are.
Yeah, fair enough. Because that fight was so close, has there been any talks on making that rematch?
Absolutely. We want to make that fight in Ireland next. A lot of the talk around this fight, it's a bit disrespectful to Erica Cruz. She's a champion as well, but if Amanda Serrano comes through this fight, we will be looking to try and make the rematch in Ireland.
Are you currently satisfied with the rules of women's boxing with the shorter rounds and, the 10-round fights?
I like it because I think it's a fast pace. I think it's very entertaining. I feel like if you make it 3 minutes, I see the argument at the elite end, but I feel like if you make it 3 minutes, it will slow the pace down. Naturally, people will pace themselves during rounds. The argument you may see more stoppages, maybe, but you may see a different pace of the fight. So for me, I'm okay with 10 twos. I'd rather see 12 twos than 10 threes, in all honesty. But we'll see how it progresses. I think it's been very successful in the entertainment we've seen from female fights.
We just saw Beterbiev defeat Yard in a tough fight the other day. How far are we from making Beterbiev versus Bivol, and what are the roadblocks for making that fight?
I love the fight. I feel like Beterbiev against Bivol is one of the best fights in the sport.
Yeah,
and we also have Callum Smith, who's mandatory for Beterbiev. I also have Canelo Alvarez, who's telling me I want revenge over Dimitri Bivol. So we have to see how it all plays out. But certainly my intention to make that undisputed fight at 175.
Speaking of Canelo, have you spoken to him recently? I saw that he's back in the gym.
Yeah, back in the gym. I spoke to Eddie Hearn and the team every day for the last week because we're getting in a position now to move forward with his next fight. And it looks like John Ryder, the mandatory challenger from the UK, as Canelo comes back from the hand injury. And then he wants revenge over Bivol. He wants to do that. We may make that at 68 because it would be a chance for Dimitri Bivol to become undisputed at 68 as well. It's a dangerous fight for both, but Canelo is a guy that wants the biggest challenges.
There's a lot of free agents floating about right now. We recently saw Terence Crawford meet with Golden Boy. Berlanga also met with Oscar. We also have Francis Ngannou, Nate Diaz floating around. Who are you most interested in out of that pack, and have you spoken with any of them?
Yeah, I've spoke to Francis Ngannou, I spoke to Edgar Berlanga this morning. I mean, they're all great names, big names in the boxing world and fight world. You can't sign everybody, but obviously we want to put together the strongest stable we can. We want to deliver the biggest names and the best fights for DAZN. And certainly Ngannou and Nate Diaz and Edgar Berlanga and Terence Crawford would be fantastic additions for us, or Golden Boy, on the same platform. So we'll see what plays out.
I feel like Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua would be such a massive fight. Have you talked to either of them about maybe gauging interest in that fight? Because it kind of feels like Joshua versus Wilder that wasn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that AJ's priority is to become world heavyweight champion again. I've spoken to Francis Ngannou about it. AJ will return April 1st. We could make that fight in the summer. It'd be a massive event. But we'll see. We'll see. I like Francis. I think he's a great man, and I think he's in a great position.
He's the nicest guy up until the cage door closes. You know what I mean? Speaking of other interesting folks, your best friend Jake Paul.
Yeah.
You knew this was coming, but you know the fight with Tommy. It's finally done. What do you make of the fight, and how do you see it playing out?
It's a good fight. You know, I think it's a 50-50-ish fight. Two guys that are fairly limited, but don't like each other. Both have big followings. Jake's done a great job. I think it's going to be a big fight, and I'll tune in to watch. You know, I mean, we'll see. I don't mind what Jake's doing. I think he's getting a lot of attention, and good luck to him.
In other kind of crazy exhibition news, it was recently announced that Misfits Boxing is doing a tag team match. How did that come about?
I don't know. I'm not Misfits Boxing, but I think it's good in a way, because fight fans are very precious, right? And we just have to establish that Misfits Boxing and that, you know, it's not real. It's just a celebrity format, entertainment format. Don't take it too seriously. And I think by doing tag team, it kind of completely distinguishes itself from boxing, really. Call it WWE if you want. And
I love it.
It's doing big numbers, you know, and it's not for me. But a lot of people like it. And I don't think it does any harm. If we can bring people into boxing some way, but we've got to show them how great the sport is from there, you know? So, yeah, it's not harming anybody.
I personally love freak show fights,
Yeah,
so I'm for it.
Yeah.
Do you think that would ever cross over to the pros?
No, I don't. I mean, listen, I'm old school. I'm only 43, but I'm an old school fight fan, you know? And I wouldn't like to see that in boxing, though.
All right, Eddie, I know it's been a long day for you. I'm going to wrap it up, and I'll see you at the press conference. Thanks so much, buddy.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe for more videos of your favorite fighters over here on Fight Up TV, and give us a follow online as well at Fight Up TV on Twitter and on Instagram. We appreciate it, guys.